So I'm out here in Mexico City. So, obviously we live here, and this is a great city if you haven't come down yet. So I've been here about a year and a half, and this is like one of the walking spots. There's like a huge mall right there and stuff. So yeah, a lot safer than you might think. So anyway, this vid gonna be diving into why it's important not to give up when dating. And this one's an important one because there's times on the journey where it can be feel very, very bleak, and like all you want to do is quit. I've been on this journey for a few years, and man, there's been moments I'm like, what am I doing? Like, what is going on? Like, what? Nothing's happening. Maybe dates aren't working out the way I want, going through breakups, whatever it might be. It can be very easy in those times to want to give up and stop the dating journey. So it's really important to, I believe, take those times when things aren't going well to take a pause and reflect. I think this is something that is often overlooked. It's like, it's a double-edged sword because it's like get back out there, of course, which we always advise. And at the same time, it's important to take time for introspection and to really look at what's going on in your life and be like, okay, yo, is this why didn't this work out? What could I have done better? And really take some time to analyze and sometimes even go within and like heal that pain that you feel from something not working out the way you want. So yeah, I think, comment down below if you're having some doubts in dating or kind of feeling like it isn't working out and wanting to give up. I think it's human to want to like stop, especially if something's difficult. And if you guys have been in dating for any amount of time, it's difficult. It's difficult, especially when you're leveling up and you're trying to experience a new area of dating per se. I know for me, like recently, I had a breakup in like October, and then I was like, okay, look, I got to really be more selective with who I date because before it was I'm going to date anyone that I think is attractive, and that was fun for sure. What I realized is I ignored the red flags. I ignored things that made us incompatible and things that were revealed to me very early on, but I didn't want to see them because I didn't want the fun to end. You know what I mean? And then down the line, when I actually started to maybe like the person, which has happened before, what happens is that I realize, yo, I'm not compatible with this person. Like, this is not a good match. And by that point, there's some workers over there doing Mexican stuff. So by that time, I was like, man, like I'm already in this. I'm invested in her. I feel attached emotionally. And so it made it a lot more painful. Had I just ignored or had I taken heed of the red flags in the beginning, I think I would have had a um, much better chance of, finding more peace in my life and stuff. So that was something that was painful for me and my journey, right? So I felt pretty defeated after it. I wanted to give up. I said, I put in all this work, like this didn't work out. Like, man, this sucks. This sucks. Um, yeah, dude, I'm fucking Mexico Jackie Chan, man. So, how long have you been here? I've been here a year and 4 months, 3 months now, about that time. And yeah, it's freaking awesome, man. I love Mexico City. I had no idea what it would be like. I thought it'd be kind of maybe a little sketch, maybe a little, sus. And it turns out it's like freaking beautiful. We are in Polanco, if anyone knows the Mexico area. Like, so we are in a bubble for sure. Like, there's obviously other parts of Mexico that are not like this. You can see it's just like freaking beautiful. There's like, Gucci, like there's a bunch of stores right down that street right there. So it's like my family will be like, yo, are you safe? And I'm like, uh, yeah, yeah, I'm like outside like a Dior. It's like, yeah, I think I'm pretty safe. I have not been to Guadalajara. There's some place we want to get to because I heard it's just fantastic for dating. Jaron, who's the other guy on the channel, he went to college in Guadalajara, so he's very experienced with that. But how about you, Hobby? Are you from Mexico City, or where you at? Blanco. Yeah, dude, it's freaking bougie, man. It's quite nice, and so I really like it. Dating's awesome here because like, girls can walk in the street at night, and so you could like do night game and cold approaches in the evening, right? And you got just some really high class women here, so it's just a blast to be dating. And yeah, places like living in a good dating place, I think really makes it a lot less difficult to give up. Because when I was in the States, I used to live in Wisconsin, which is not ideal for dating. Yeah, it was really easy to want to give up because you do 10 approaches and it just not go great. And here, man, you can go, oh, dude, like you can go out for a session and just like, walk to the gym and meet like three girls that are like beautiful and get their night Instagrams pretty relatively easy. As long as you are just like cool and calm and that's it. And they don't try to like put you on TikTok or anything like that and try to do all that stuff or pepper spray you. It's they're really like open to it. They really like that masculine feminine dynamic, which is lost in the States, especially if you guys are in the States, you know what I'm talking about. There's that actor who played in the Guardians of the Galaxy, Zoe, whatever her name is. She plays Gamora, the girl that's like green. And I was like looking on Facebook this morning or something, and she won like a Golden Globe award. And the quote was like, "I love, I love, I love being a masculine woman. I love women that are masculine and men that are feminine. It's such a turn on." I just went, dude, like, fuck, like that's the state of that culture right now. So you come down here, man, you can just like be a dude and you can be cool and you can um, do the things that instinctually we know we're meant to do, but we're just we've been programmed to be afraid of it. You can tell a girl what you want her to help out and to do that. Not gonna get her bitching back to you about how that's freaking what you call it misogyny or whatever. No, it's like actually like they're really open to it. Um, let's see. Oh no, wait, that's crazy. Life in a Snack, the anthem thing in the U.S. That's freaking sick. That's super random, actually. I'm gonna tell people that. Thank you. Um, let's see. Yeah, so if anyone's thinking of coming to Mexico, I think it's a great idea, and I think it's a great place to improve your dating. So back to the topic of this is not giving up when you're feeling like discouraged in dating. I think this is really, again, really important. And like I was saying before, I think it's important to take breaks from dating at times. I took a break recently. I stopped doing approaches. I stopped really, going on dates or anything. And I really had to take some time to go inwards because what I realized is like what I was doing was not getting me the results I wanted. So that means I had some inner work to do. I had to relearn how to be alone. Eventually, though, it gets to a point where you're just like, you get that itch again. You get that like, "Oh, man, I want to get out there and start dating again." And that's when it's really important to, even though it can be scary to restart, going out and doing approaches, or I don't know if you guys do night game or whatever it is, get back on the dating apps, whatever you might do, it can be uncomfortable, right? And it can be easy to want to stay in the comfort zone. But I'll tell you, man, like once you get out there again and you start, getting to go on dates and meeting girls with your new upgraded sense of self, it becomes super powerful. And it's like, yeah, it's so much easier to be like, how was I never not doing this? So yeah, guys, feel free to share like any of your dating experience, like where you guys are at and like what dating's like for you where you live. Again, there's pros and cons to each, and of course, if you come down to Mexico City, hit us up. We got like a huge, a pretty nice network here. Like, got a couple poker nights coming up. We do like group dinners and stuff, and with a bunch of like expats, entrepreneurs, type kind of people. So it's really good for business and networking and all that. Date wise, yeah, got a couple dates coming up. Uh, okay, we got New York, New Jersey. Yeah, that's interesting, man. Tune into the podcast. We got one on Friday with our buddy Richie, and he does Social Circle game in New York. So I think he's from the Bronx. But we have a client here from New York as well, and I imagine that's a very different experience dating in New York from the States. That's what at least they say. So yeah, I've never been to New York. Basically Wisconsin near Chicago, and I do want to go to New York though. I do want to go to New York. I heard people are like either super friendly or they're kind of dicks. So I know like that was the biggest struggle with our New York client and doing cold approaches. He was like, it's so not like normal to approach in New York. It's like, of course, man, like everyone just kind of minds their own business and stuff. But here it's obviously a lot different, or maybe yeah, obviously Guadalajara, just any place in what's up, yeah, person that looks like Ukrainian maybe. Yeah, I'm not too sure, but nice, nice, awesome, bro, with the big D. Welcome. So anyway, yeah, it's just an interesting feeling when you're in a zone where you don't want to give up, where you're like you're motivated, you're inspired, you're like, yes, I'm any girl I see that I like, I'm gonna go approach. Versus when you're in that state where you're just feeling low, it's almost like a cloud over it, and I know the root of that emotion is going to be fear. So that's something I think is important to realize too. I think, obviously it's like you're a guy, you shouldn't feel emotions. Dude, we're freaking human. We got to feel emotions. And so whenever I'm in a state of not things not going well, I usually there's some sort of fear of being alone, fear of things never working out. And I'm not in that zone in this moment. So it's kind of weird saying because I was very recently and was feeling that scarcity, was feeling that things are not work, things aren't working out, and that was it was very discouraging too. But to the point, like I didn't give up. I'm like, okay, what can I do in this moment, in today, to improve my life a little bit? Whether it's going to the gym. Obviously, fitness is super important to us, and we obviously advise it to anybody who's trying to get into dating. Really make sure to be taking care of yourself. Nutrition is huge too. So that's another thing I dove into. I started cleaning up my diet. New Year's resolutions are cliche, but there is an energy to it, and I think you can use it. So no sugar. I've had sugar once in like 2 weeks, which is a huge win for me. And I just feel so much clear, it's more clear, so much more focused. I might have had it last night by accident. We got this like sauce stuff, but anyway, it's just making sure you're doing the best you can and really focusing on the things you can control. They say this in addiction recovery. If you guys don't know, I'm sober. I've been sober for about 8.5 years. Jaron, the other guy on this channel, and Emiliano, they both, Emiliano's sober too, but Jaron, he can't consume substances. He drinks, he smokes once in a while. For me, though, I stay away from it completely, and it's been very helpful. Um, so that's like really in recovery there's a lot of things we cannot control. We can't control other people. We can't control the climate. We can't control our friends or family. We can't control how we act and behave. So, whenever there's a period where things aren't going well and you're feeling discouraged, what I always recommend is just go inward. Do as much inner work as you can. Like I said, hit the gym, be exercising, nutrition, journaling, looking at maybe your past. Because I know for me, whenever I have one of those moments, yeah, something comes up and it reminds me of when I was a kid or when I got rejected in high school and all that stuff, middle school when I wasn't popular or anything. Um, yeah, life is a snack, bro. Go, yeah, sushi Ito is dope, man. I love sushi. Dude, are you in, you said you're in New York, but it sounds like you've come to Mexico City. Um, I like the one, dude, you got to check out, where is it called? Where's it called? It's in Condesa. It's Aroma. It's called Sushi Aburrito, and they have 3 for 1 from like 1 to 5. It's freaking unreal. And yeah, for the Ukrainian person, name is Joel. So I'm the Joel, and obviously our picture is mixed around. So Jaron is the big white guy, and I'm Joel. I'm the Asian guy. So Byron Katie, yes, dude, that's a great example. Byron Katie is for anyone that doesn't know, she has a book and it's called The Work, and it's such a good book, and that's so cool you bring that up. Uh, I still use Byron Katie's method today, and basically what it is when you're feeling like something isn't working out or unfair, and you can get in the habit of like it should be like this, it should be like that. You ask yourself, I think like 4 questions. Like one, is it true? Or wait, the question is, what is the fear? And it's like so you blah 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 blah. Like women don't like me, for example. The next thing is, do you believe it's true? And usually the answer is yes. Can you be certain it's true? No, because you can't actually be certain it's true. How do you feel when you think of it? And it's usually depressed, anger, sadness, disappointment. How would you feel if you didn't believe that? And usually the answer is like, oh, I'd feel good. And then who are you without that belief? And for me, I always just say like, I am universe, I am God. Not like in an egoic sense, but I am life. And then you rephrase it. So you say like if the fear is I'm not women don't like me, then you write it down and you say women do like me. And it's so powerful, guys. Like it's absolutely amazing. And life in a snack. Thank you for bringing that up. It's such a way to get out of your head and just see the truth of the situation. It might not be like what you want, your ego wants to hear, because your ego probably wants to be like in self pity and this thing's blah 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 and complaining. But then when you do it, you just realize, okay, like this isn't that serious. Um, Maybe whatever I think is going on is not really true. Some for me in the past were like, I'm broke. I'll always be broke. Do I believe it to be true? Yes. Can I be certain it's true? No. How do I feel? Guilt, shame, worry, fear. What? Who am I without that? Free. How do I feel without it? Free. And then you turn it around. I'm not broke. And the truth is, I wasn't broke. I had money. So it just kind of gets us out of that self pity. I think that's a great example. Maybe we'll link a example of or the book. It's called The Work by Byron Katie. Super powerful. Other great authors I think are like Eckhart Tolle. If you guys know who he is, he does The Power of Now. Super powerful. It's learning how to be in the present moment, and all this is going to help with dating too. Because I don't know if you guys experience, but a lot of times women can trigger things in us, insecurities in us that we don't want to experience, especially if we're like feeling like really good about ourselves. The universe will always reflect who we truly are, and often, if we're dating, that'll be through the women. Women will bring things up to us that maybe we didn't believe, like we didn't want to look at, like the unconscious side of ourselves. They call it like the shadow side. I know that that's for me all the time, man. Like uh sometimes in my head I'm like, oh, I'm the super smooth guy, and then I'm on a date and I'm like nervous or something, and so it's a great reflection of how that's not who I am in the X moment, and that's okay. That's okay. It's like I don't need to be perfect, but it always teaches me where areas I need to level up and do better. Let's see other comments here. Yeah, dude, life in a snack. Come to Mexico City, man, and hit us up, and we'd be happy to go out and chill and just obviously like explore the city and stuff. It's freaking so sick. If anybody watching is thinking about coming down to Mexico City, you can schedule a call with us, and we'll kind of give you some guidelines and some support, and maybe making the move down here or coming for a visit, and really kind of open your mind to what dating can be like in not the States or in a Western world. We have some clients from Europe and from London. Amir, we just did a testimonial with him. Chapultepec Castle is great, great date spot too. There's this huge park, guys. I'm in this park. It's called Parque Americano, pun intended. And dude, super nice to come down like around work time because like girls will just be walking down this thing like back and forth like for hours. So it's a great spot to do some approaches. Um, yeah, do you guys do mostly approaches or you prefer like online game? And what's your guys' mode of choice, night game? It's funny, some of the guys we work with, they're really good at night game, like exceptionally well, but they're so afraid in cold approach. And it's just so interesting to see because I'm the opposite. I don't really prefer night game. One, because I don't drink, and two, like I want to get to know the person a little bit, kind of have that deeper connection. And I'm getting better at it, let's just say like that. But I definitely prefer like being out on a beautiful day and just like talking to girls, just kind of walking and doing their thing. You kind of get that like one-on-one connection and really almost have like a mini date in the moment. Insta dates, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Insta dates. I think if you're going for a lay, it can be it can be good. But if you're looking for more like long-term thing or like more deeper connection, I don't think it's great because an Insta date comes off a bit like to me like, oh, I don't got anything else going on. Maybe that's my own belief about it, right? See, I gotta look at myself sometimes too. Like, I'm always looking at ways I'm behaving, and for some people, I think, and I'm sure it's just a mindset because I'm sure some like my mentor, Nick, you eventually will see on the channel, and he's gonna be he coaches with us as well. He loved that, so he would do instant dates all the time, and he would get a lot of hookups that way. So that just might be a me thing. I'm just not super into it. But, yeah, what kind of, what topics are you guys into? Like, what okay, hold on, we gotta come here. The problem is not how much we love someone, but how little we love in ourselves. Yeah, for sure, man. It's like, God, and that's always like the end of it. Like when things are going well with women, there's usually a disconnect with oneself. And when you can reconnect with that self and heal parts of that, I mean, it's a journey, so it's not like it's all gonna be healed in a moment. Um, you find that the dating gets better too. But women can sense that, man. Women can sense when you're like you're using them to fill a hole. pun intended, but an emotional hole, right? It's just like a look in the eyes. It's just an energy. I just yeah, a wanting, right? And when you're actually at peace with yourself, you come into the dating experience. It's kind of like, yeah, I don't really care. Like, if this works out great, if not great. A very chill, nonchalant attitude. What's up, B? What's up, B? What's up, bro? Um, so yeah, it's always important to look inwards again. It's always important to look deep inside. And this is something that dating coaches or people on the internet that talk about dating don't talk about. They say make more money, go get muscles and all that stuff. And that's just a band-aid. You want to have that stuff too. I believe that you want to be you want to be able to build wealth. You want to be able to stay in shape. But at the end of the day, like life and a snack said, if you're not at peace with yourself or to a degree like yourself, you got to like yourself. Dating's just not going to go anywhere. Like you might get hookups, all that stuff, but for that deeper connection, that deeper kind of almost spiritual connection with another person, you need to be kind of at peace with yourself as well because dating is a giving act as well. Dating is not just about taking. And when you're in a state of scarcity or deprivation or lack of self, you're in that seeking mode. You're in that I need to fill my own cup. But when you're in a state of love and abundance and all that, you're much more giving. You're much more present in relationships and with people. And it's a lot easier to give your care and compassion to other people. I just want to, I like dogs, but I want to kick that dog, which isn't very compassionate. So, man, that thing's annoying. So, anyway, when you're in that loving state, you can really give to the other person and give them experiences. And it's not just about giving them money or monetary resources, which is the big mistake a lot of guys make. A lot of guys get rich and they're like, oh, I'm just going to buy this girl's love. She's like, dude, I don't want that, man. I want you to give me your time and your presence and your energy. Women are very into energy and they can sense emotions and stuff a lot better than men can. That's just how they're evolutionary hardwired. We are meant more logically because we're meant to be figuring stuff out and how to provide and care for the tribe and all that stuff. So evolutionarily, we're just not meant um, to feel like women are. So they can really sense that stuff. And when you are in a state of abundance with yourself, oh man, it's just like they just can't help but smile at you. It's amazing. The Ukrainian do you like is vodka? I do not like vodka. That was my worst. I liked whiskey and I did a lot of rum in college, but now nothing. So I've been off the booze for a while for yeah, about 8.5 years, and I'll never look back. Weed was my main thing. I smoked a ton of weed and was quite addicted to it. Was got in a lot of trouble with it as well. I got robbed a bit, a lot of money and stuff. And so that was my wake up where I said, "Hey, look, dude, I'm gonna end up in prison or dead. But what I wanted was the relationship. So I had to go inwards and really learn how to get rid of my addictions and get rid of the substances. And first few years were very difficult. I felt very isolated. It was a lot of solitude. I didn't really have friends or relationships. Went to a lot of recovery support groups, which is I always recommend for someone trying to quit an addiction. Um, and then after that, at about year, I don't know, five, I have another YouTube channel. It's called Sobriety University. You can check it out. I talk about quitting addiction, marijuana mostly, but I'm starting to talk about other stuff. And then once I started doing that, I started to feel more confident with myself. And then I met Jaron actually. So Jaron, I booked him for a coaching call, funny enough. And I was trying to get out of debt. I was working on my money at that point. And then I ended up doing his videos and we did some podcasting together. He's like, hey, you can just come down and live with me and we can just collab and it'll be super easy. And from that moment on, we were just now we're here. So it's amazing. But anyway, with addictions, yeah, I think quitting as many substances as you can is really going to help your energy and your relationships with women. So it starts many times with a female figure in childhood. Before we get to that, because this is a good one here, the Russian. Okay, right, you're Russian. Well, Chesh. Um, yeah, I do want to go to Russia. I do want to go to Russia. I love Ukraine. I know it's just uh, you know a sticky topic right now, but I was in Poland last year and I dated this Ukrainian for like two. Oh, just man, just super feminine, man, just awesome human being. Um, So it starts with times with a female figure in her childhood. Absolutely, a lot of men have mother wounds. We didn't think of us highly or put us down 100%, man, bro. Like, I don't know about you, man, but my mom, not consciously, but I was more. a big part of why I was brought into, well, I was adopted, but the real reason she adopted me was, it was more about kind of like, I think, fitting into the family. Like, not more, but a big part of it was trying to get approval from her family, right? And I was a way to do that. So sometimes I didn't feel quite loved, for sure. And that program in our subconscious and runs our life. Like, yeah, man, yeah, man. And the more you get into dating too, the more you realize women have that as well, and your friends do. And the best dater in the world has it. Mr. Andrew Tate has it. Everybody has trauma, and it all affects their dating life in some way, and just how they live. I think. Yeah, it's the healing that mother wound is not an easy task. I had to break up last December and just tore my heart out, man. And just like, hey, and it wasn't, I'm not saying like she was fine, right? It just, she didn't, I wasn't strong enough and masculine enough for her in that time. But I really had to go inwards, and for 3 months I did a ton of inner work. Really looked at the relationship with my mom and had a bunch of dreams about that stuff. And man, it's freaking crazy. What a flashback to, but that's some deep stuff, man. And yeah, like my mentor would always say this. It sounds like he's like, dude, you're looking for mommy. You're trying to date mommy. And girls don't want to be mommy, dude. As you know, life. They want you to be daddy. And so yeah, super unattractive when but you'll notice it too. Like if a girl like has a daddy wound and like is trying to make you dad, it's freaking annoying. Like they look at you like a bank account. Like they try to like put you in the box that they should have had their dad put them in. So they can be bratty and all that stuff. So I do my best to stay away from girls from divorced families, unless they've done some work on it, and or from like, if a dad left him or something like that. Any of that can be dangerous for a relationship with a woman, because if a woman comes from a relationship from a somebody who's left him, from a divorced family, usually they really struggle with trusting men. And so at some point it's gonna get to a point where they might not fully be able to open up to you. Or versely, they're gonna be codependent and they're gonna be too attached to you, right? Which is not something you want either. I would say I'd rather have a girl attached to me than avoidant, but I would prefer neither. The needy girl is annoying as all hell too. And avoidance, I mean, that's we have a video on our channel with our mate Andy from Europe, and he talks about how like the avoidant relationships. And so the girl I broke up with in December, this last October, she was an avoidant. So she came from her father left when she was younger, and so she could not ever fully trust me or open up to me. And I had to say like no more. Like with avoidant women, the thing with them is you'll get close to them and they'll be very seductive. So they'll seduce you in by loving you and love bombing you and being super sweet. And then as soon as you get close and show a little love to them, they pull back, and it's exhausting because you're like, "What the fuck?" Like, I thought they were super into me, and then you show them a little care, and they're like, "Oh," they get the ick, and oh man, it's just that'll be another live stream. That is such a back and forth. So, hey, what's up, Andy? Speaking of the devil, this is just telling you guys, this is the guy that made the video. So check it out, and him and I talk a lot about this just on our free time, and uh, he's got a wealth of experience on it, so definitely, hit him up if it's something that you've dealt with. But man, those avoidant women, bro, they're it's rough. It's like I think, like you said, Andy, in the video, they can be some of the best relationships and super super attractive and loving and at times, but then the fact that they just cannot commit is it just can be exhausting. And um, it's kind of a gamble, really. It's really a gamble of how much time you want to invest in the person, because there is a chance that they come around and really end up opening up to you and loving you and stuff, which is kind of what we want. But it's not going to happen at the pace of somebody that's secure, somebody that's insecure, or maybe more anxious. Even, I mean, you want someone obviously in the secure role, but if they're kind of in the middle, more towards the anxious, that's more preferable than the avoidant. Someone that's a little bit more anxious or attached, though, they're going to be much better at moving things along, right? Like 6 months in a relationship, they'll start to be asking you, having the talk, right? And that's kind of what you want, to be developing that deeper connection, like, relatively soon, not too soon. Like some guys get in relationships, I think, way too quick. And I think it takes 6 months to even a year to really kind of see if someone's going to be compatible for you. And then the real truth is that you don't even get to see someone's true colors until a year and a half. So that is a long time to wait, though. So yeah, hitting the gym, nice, nice. Are you doing jujitsu today? Or are you doing just lifting? And then yeah, you need both emotional self control to and 100%. If you let that go a little bit, then it can all crumble. And I was saying earlier in the stream that I'm like I've eaten sugar once in the last like 2 weeks, so I'm like super like locked in and like focused, and my emotions are like in control and just so nice. And obviously the women can see that too. No one is being in the middle. No, no one's bang on the middle, man. There's moments where we feel like it, and then, but in reality, yeah, we're always kind of leaning one way or the other. Nice getting a little pull action in. Life in a snack. Asking the wrong people to love us the right way. Asking the wrong people to love us right. Yeah, 100%, bro. It's that was kind of what Andy helped me see, and some other friends, and just my own awareness around it was that I was putting her in a box. She was a fantasy. Um, not that type of pull. Yeah, right. You're doing cold approach, right? um, so I put her into a box that she did not want to be in, or she was not ready to. And when I forced her into that, and then she pushed back, I got upset and didn't work out. So had I waited a little, I could have probably could have worked had I been more calm. I also take testosterone, which is something that I started when I started living with Jaren, and that's been very helpful for me to stay calm and mellow. Um, yeah, I took a shot today. I do injections 3 times a week, and I think I was always low on testosterone because when I'm off it, I feel my emotions way more, and it's quite exhausting. So being on testosterone has been, um, yeah, a life sin for me. And he's one of the rare ones that doesn't need it, and he's like you're at 45, so that's pretty impressive. But yeah, once I tried it and got that in me, man, it was I just couldn't go back. I'll take breaks once in a while, like every probably 2 3 months. I'll take like a month break and let my like emotions reset. But when I had the breakup in Cabos, I was off the test, and I think that was a reason why I behaved the way um, you did. Emotional regulation, yeah, I think about any self help book at this point is going to talk about it. Um, I think there's a lot to be said about that topic in itself. Like, emotional regulation can be seen in a lot of ways. I think exercise, like I said earlier, is a way to help regulate your emotions. Meditation, which is very important. I do that every morning. Journaling, making sure your diet's on point, having good friends and social circle, being of service, giving to other people. That's been a huge one as well. I notice like sometimes the most miserable I've been in my life is when I've been selfish and not giving to others. The happiest I've been, funny enough, is when I'm being of service to other people. So there's definitely a correlation there. And yeah, like emotional regulation is huge. It's what kind of I think creates your reality, because when your emotions are out of check and out of whack, it's not good. It's not fun, right? And so I mean, you see that a lot with people that use substances a lot and party a lot. They don't often have the best emotional regulation. Obviously, like you were saying earlier, life with trauma. Some people are just more prone to anxiety and stuff. I'm one of those people. On the anxious side for sure. When I think it became because was adopted when I was 3 months old, and I got put on a plane, ripped away from two caregivers, and the second one was the one I actually bonded to. So my parents were telling me the whole plane ride from Korea, which was like I don't know, probably 20 some hours. I was just screaming the whole time. So I yeah, emotional regulation, I was just kinda just, like, not set to have good emotional regulation, so it's taken a lot of work. That's why I had to quit, substances and stuff, and I have to be really careful with my diet and stuff, and, um oh, yeah, and then some people come from really loving homes and are just kinda calm and don't have much, problems with that. Uh, I'm not one of those people. I don't think many of my friends are, to be honest, and maybe that's why we connect so well. Uh, I know, yeah, either way, there's no good or bad. It's just kind of what is. And I think thankfully nowadays there's so many tools to figure out how to better regulate your emotions. And good God, like I do like sometimes like I've resented my parents and I'll still get annoyed with them at some points. And then I do have to remember and remind myself that they didn't have all the tools we have now. They were literally like, dude, you just gotta like fucking suck it up. And that would have been so hard, man, especially, having like those super like overly masculine fathers. Like my grandpa was a hard ass, and he was not a guy to give you a hug. He would shake your hand, and that was when we were like 5 years old. Wouldn't look you in the eye, just like not super. And then you can imagine just the lineage of non-emotional regulation goes for centuries, right? So I think we are in a very lucky time, and using all the resources you can to find out how to regulate the best is gonna really serve your favor. So anyway, guys, I think I'm gonna bounce here. Got a poker game tonight, but just want to say thanks for everyone for tuning in. This has been super cool. Both Andy and I check out Andy's channel as well. He talks a lot about psychology and a lot about um, leveling your life up in a financial way, in a spiritual way, and an emotional way, and then a little bit about the dating too. But so we both recently have started doing these, and I think it's super cool. Um, Oh, dude, that's so dope, dude. Thanks for sharing that life that you are also adopted. Bro, dude, tell me about it, man. That abandonment wounds are deep, and it's, I think, it's been the biggest lesson is learning how to enter a dating relationship and be okay with her walking away. And it can be very easy to like getting attached to actually life. Hit us up on Instagram. You hit me up at Joel Lee Henry. The links are in our some of our other videos, or at Mexpat. We have a new Mexpat channel, Instagram channel, and would love to do a podcast with you on dating as an adoptee. I think that would be really cool. And it sounds like you have a lot of wisdom and experience with dealing with this kind of thing. So would love to talk to you about it. And then back to Andy, like, yeah, so we have both started live streaming like this. Jaren's gonna hop on later today, so definitely check him out. Did that up. And then on Friday, we're gonna do a live stream on breakups. So Andy, if you want to hop in on that one, let us know. We got four of us so far, and we're down to do a fiver. So yeah, and awesome, man. Yeah, hit me up, life, and I would love to chat with you. And for everyone else, yeah, have a good day, have a great dating life, and start to the new year. It's a great year. It's a great time to be, putting your best work. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers.